Moving from Venus in Gemini to Venus in Leo is a pretty natural step, I think, because these are two very childlike and fun-loving Venus placements. Venus in Leo, just like Venus in Gemini, is going to want to have a lot of fun with their partner. That's what really, they're attracted to. That's what they desire, and that's how they express their desire and their attraction as well. And this applies to flings or more serious committed dynamics, whatever it is. Venus and Leo and Venus and Gemini are going to want to have a lot of fun with their partner or with whatever they're doing. Now, Venus and Leo in particular is very notable because I would go as far as to say that Venus is in joy in Leo. Venus is technically in joy in the fifth house, and although houses do not equal signs, they of course do have certain parallels and certain connections, and I think the connections are strong enough that I go as far as to say that, because Venus is in joy in the fifth house, that means it's in joy in Leo, since Leo corresponds to the fifth house. Um, so basically, what this means is Venus and Leo is the most fun placement. This is the most fun Venus placement to have, and the reason why is because Leo is fixed fire, so it has that stamina, it has that warmth and charisma about it. It's a very proud sign in general, and when we apply, Venus here, this means that this person is going to be very proud with their love. They're going to be very strong-willed, and I mentioned that before with Venus in Scorpio and Venus in Taurus. Whenever you have Venus in a fixed sign, you're going to get a strong-willed individual, particularly with romance and love and attraction. So Venus and Leo people, they're not going to want to change themselves for any partner. So if they're courting someone or if someone else is courting them, Venus and Leo kind of just brings themselves to the table. They say, "This is who I am. If that matches with you, great, and if it doesn't, whatever, that's fine." Venus and Leo isn't going to change itself for anyone, and it's really not shy at all. Now, this is particularly interesting when you consider that because Venus is always close to the sun, less than 60 degrees away from the sun in astrology, many people that have Venus and Leo will have Sun in Cancer or Sun in Virgo. So, what's kind of funny is when you consider that a lot of people will be kind of more introverted or more shy, uh, that end up having Venus and Leo, these Cancer or Virgo suns. So, although they may be generally introverted or generally shy, in love and romance and in attraction, they are very proud, very bold, very outgoing, and that's where you see this Leo energy, the Leo Venus. Leo Venus people are very unafraid to just put themselves out there to say exactly how they feel, and because of that dynamic, they tend to develop relationships very quickly. Because again, Venus and Leo isn't afraid. It brings itself in an unfiltered way, and as soon as it does catch feelings, it's very quick to be expressive of those feelings with its partner or with whoever it is in question here. So yeah, Venus and Leo, it knows how it feels very strongly. It expresses that very quickly, and thus it tends to develop very strong relationships very quickly. Now, these can there can be a dynamic where the strong energy and the warmth and charisma and the unabashed expression of the desire and attraction, that in itself can lead to more desire and attraction. Okay, so once Venus and Leo says, I really like you, we should spend more time together, or whatever it is, probably in a more poetic way than what I just stated, but once it does that, then its partner can be like, "Wow, I really am enjoying this. I'm, more attracted to this." It can almost become a self feeding cycle, a perpetual feedback loop, to where both partners are going, "Wow, I'm so excited. This is so much fun. I like you too." Blah blah blah, and then it builds on each other. It just starts, building up like a whirlwind, and if there is not enough substance to the dynamic and it's just, that energy feeding upon itself, eventually it can just go up, 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 more excitement, and then it can just suddenly collapse. And this is very confusing to Venus and Leo and very unsettling because Venus and Leo is a fixed sign. It actually does, although it has things develop quickly, it wants things to be consistent as well. Venus and Leo actually is a committer. A little bit less like Venus and Gemini. Venus and Gemini, as we talked about, was more playful and more open to versatility and more carefree. It wanted a lot of mobility. Venus in Leo wants a lot of mobility too to express itself, but again, it's fixed and it's fixed fire, so it's very passionate. This is a very, very passionate romantic placement. And Venus in Leo does want to be committed. So again, that's why that dynamic of that perpetual feedback loop collapsing in upon itself is very actually distressing to Venus and Leo, because Venus and Leo wants to stay in that first stage of romance all the time. I mean, I think we all do a little bit to some extent, but especially in Venus and Leo, they love, being in love. They love having everything be magical and dramatic and theatrical. We always get that kind of drama with any Leo placement. So Venus and Leo wants their romance to be that way. They want things to be romantic and exciting. Um, but yeah, going back, I'm kind of meandering around here, but going back to that possessiveness, Venus and Leo is a not only romantic, it's also a kind of sexual placement. Whenever we get fire, we get a lot of like strong, open energies, um, and and yeah, there is possessiveness. Venus and Leo wants well, I should take a step back and say pretty much all Leo placements want fun, they want a party, and they never want it to end. Leo is the middle of summer, and in the middle of summer, especially in the northern latitudes, um, it's that small time where you can kind of just pretend that summer will never end. But as we know, it of course does end. So yeah, Venus and Leo can sometimes get in trouble, much like many other Leo placements, where they never want the fun to end, so they can kind of cling to that first stage of relationships, and in other areas as well, they can enjoy a party, literally speaking, and maybe overindulge in certain capacities. um, but ultimately Venus and Leo does want a stable dynamic, one that can stay fun and exciting, almost like the early stages of a relationship, but in a way that is also consistent and will continue onward. So all in all, I think Venus and Leo, it would match up with any fire or air placement, but it could actually maybe sort of work with Venus in Taurus, just because although they would have very different styles, they're both strong-willed individuals, so they could respect that about one another. Venus and Scorpio combining with Venus and Leo gets really interesting because both are very possessive. They're also very different though, so they clash, they butt heads. They're both very strong-willed, so you can get a lot of fights, you can get a lot of good sex, a lot of intense fights, but neither will want the dynamic to end. So that could be a bit of a trap and can be intense and dysfunctional. But yeah, I'll list the full list of compatible and incompatible placements in the description below. But that's generally my take on Venus and Leo. So if you have any questions or if you feel like reaching out to me, you can always email me at manic.mercurian@gmail.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.